I'm really excited to be learning about adverbs this week. We're seeing when, where, and how things happen. Is it outside? Is it nowhere? Was it yesterday? Are you doing it eagerly or accidentally? Do you do it seldom or never? Will it happen tomorrow? Will it happen upstairs? Every time you talk about when, where, or how a verb happens, you're using an adverb. Adverbs. Remember how you could throw adjectives at a noun? An adverb is a word you can throw at a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs can tell you how the verb is happening. Are you tickling your big sister slowly or quickly? Is she laughing joyfully or angrily? And are you running away fearfully as she chases you furiously? You can usually spot this sort of adverb because it is an adjective that has ly on the end of it. Like sad plus ly equals sadly, instant adverb. But not every adverb ends in ly. In fact, one of the most common adverbs that you know well doesn't end in ly either. Guessed it? Well done. Adverbs can also tell you when something happens. Words like yesterday, never, sometimes, and always are also adverbs. Adverbs can tell you where something is happening. Did it happen downstairs, inside your bedroom, above your head, or here and there? An adverb usually describes a verb. It can describe an adjective or another adverb. It tells us how, when, or where it happens. Now let's find some in these examples here. I run away from that dog daily. Now the run is the verb because it's something that you do. So run is the verb, and what's describing that verb? Away. That's an adverb, and it's happening daily. You're running daily. So that's also an adverb. Both of those adverbs are describing the verb. In the next example, that coat is brightly coloured. We know that the coat is a noun, and this the word coloured is describing the noun, so that's an adjective. What is helping the adjective be more intense? This one. Adverbs do that. When they're describing an adjective, they make it more intense, brighter, brightly. So more brightly colour. I get a bigger power of colour in my mind when I read that sentence. Inside, he cried very sadly. Now we've got a verb here. That's very good. And sadly describes the verb. It's an adverb. But very intensifies the sadly. So it is an adverb describing an adverb. And this one is telling us where it's happening. So that's an adverb as well. All of these tell us where, like inside, away. They tell us when, daily, or they tell us how. It's brightly coloured. That's how it's coloured. It's very sad. That's how sad it is. Adverbs describing verbs. Choose 5 of these verbs. Here they are. Write a sentence for each one, adding an adverb to describe how, where, or when the verb happened. Now I'm going to choose one just to give an example. I'm going to choose slide. So he can slide. Now, how is he going to slide? He could slide quickly. Where is he going to slide? He could slide down. And when is he going to slide? He could slide today. Now I'm going to put a full stop on my sentence. I have a capital letter and I can write one of those into my worksheet. So you will need to choose another 4 different verbs here and write about them. Adverbs describing adverbs can increase or intensify the adverb that's already there. Now we can see here this magnifying glass intensifies the sun's rays so that it can actually burn this wood. I've done this in my backyard, and that's what an adverb does when you put it with another adverb. I'm going to do the first one as an example, and I want you to do 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the sheet, please. Okay, our team won most often. Well, here we have the verb, they won. Now we could just say that they won often, but I want to intensify that often and give another adverb to intensify it. So there we go, most often. Now, often is telling you when. So that's what I would write down on the sheet. And this one, most often, is telling you how often. So it's a how adverb. You need to work out how the adverbs affect each other in all of these 5 and record them on the worksheet, please. Adverbs describing adjectives. Now again, the adverb will intensify the adjective. We need to look at the pattern of where the adverbs are usually found in relation to the adjective. You'll find it very common in English. We need to write a list of the adverb and the adjective from each sentence on the worksheet. I'm going to do the first one to help you. The class became very clever. Now what did they're doing? They became very clever. That's the verb, and we describe the class with this adjective, clever. Now to intensify clever, we've used an adverb. So on the sheet, I would write under the adverb column, I would write very, and under the adjective column, I would write clever. So keep going with the other examples. Press pause until you're done. Just before we move on to the next activity, I wanted to discuss with you the spelling rules of adding ly. If a word ends in an e or a y, I would like you to cross them off, change them into an I, and then you can add ly. Let's do an example. Okay, if I've got the word ice, I need to take off the e, make it an I, and add ly. And then I've got the word icily. That's my adverb. Alright, what about pretty? Pretty is an adjective. I need to take off the y, add an I, turn it into an I, and then add ly. And that makes prettily. That's my adverb. So if a word ends in an e or a y, change it into an I, and then add ly. Right, with that spelling knowledge, you're going to be able to fill in the ly section on your worksheet. You need to choose 5 of these adjectives and make them into adverbs by adding ly. Write them onto the worksheet. Now some of these, like uglily, it sounds terrible. I don't even think that's a word. You just say something else instead. So don't choose just any old one, smellily. How funny. Choose one like rainily or weirdly or calmly. Some things that sound like real words, please. Choose 5 of them, turn them into adjectives with the correct spelling, and write them down on the worksheet. It's an easy one. Press pause while you do it. Okay, spin your web, choose a sentence starter and write a web of adverbs around it. Remember to imagine how, when and where the verb happened. Now here are the sentence starters, and I'm going to do the one on dragons. Okay, let's get some of these things out of the way so that I've got some room to write. Now I'm going to do dragons soar. So soar is the verb, time to do my web of how, when and where. So how do they soar? Silently. And when do they soar? Daily, maybe? I wonder what you'll choose. And how do they soar? I've got how, silently, daily. Where do they soar? Maybe up into the clouds. As soon as I start choosing to add some nouns to that, up into the clouds, I'm starting to use an adverbial phrase. And that's fine, which just makes it more of a phrase, more information still, which is fantastic. Okay, now this is what you would need to write down in your on that part of the worksheet. You will have written down your web. Now you need to write the sentence. Okay, I've got my capital letter dragons. Silently. See, it's showing me that you know how to use them. Yep, you can think of them here, but now you're showing me you can use them. Silently soar up to the clouds daily. Now we've got a much more interesting and detailed sentence just by doing that quick little web there. Dragons silently soar up into the clouds daily. That's so much better than it was. Well, here's your reward. Here's how they learned about adverbs in 1974 in America. It's called a Schoolhouse Rock video, and I think it's pretty catchy. See what you think.
Ready, Pop? Yep. Ready, son? Let's go.
Let's go.
1, 2.
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Lolly, 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 got some adverbs here. Come on down to Lolly's, get the adverbs here. You're going to need if you write or read or even think about it. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Got a lot of lolly jolly adverbs here. Anything you need and we can make it absolutely clear. An adverb is a word.
That's all it is, and there's a lot of them.
That modifies a verb.
Sometimes a verb, sometimes.
It modifies an adjective or else another adverb. And so you see that it's positively very, very necessary. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Father, son, and lolly selling adverbs here. Got a lot of adverbs and we make it clear. So come to Lolly.
Hello, folks. This is Lolly Sr. saying we have every adverb in the book, so come on down and look.
Hello, folks. Lolly Jr. here. Suppose your house needs painting. How are you going to paint it? That's where the adverb comes in. We can also give you a special intensifier so you can paint it very neatly or rather sloppily.
Oh, hi. Suppose you're going nut gathering. Your buddy wants to know where and when. Use an adverb and tell him.
Get your adverb, use it with an adjective, it says much more. Anything described can be described some more. Anything you'd ever need is in the store. And so you choose very carefully every word you use. Use it with a verb, it tells us how you did. Where it happened, where you're going, where you've been. Use it with another adverb, that's the end. And even more. How, where, or when, condition or reason. These questions are answered when you use an adverb.
Come and get it,
Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Quickly, 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 get those adverbs here. Slowly, surely, really learn your adverbs here. You're going to need them if you read them, if you write or talk or think about them, Lolly.
If it's an adverb, we have it at Lolly's. Bring along your old adjectives, too, like slow, soft, and sure. We'll fit them out with our LY attachment and make perfectly good adverbs out of them.
Get your adverbs here.
Lots of good tricks at Lolly's, so come on down.
Lolly, lolly, lolly.
Adverbs deal with manner, place, time,
Lolly, lolly, lolly.
condition, reason,
Father, son, and lolly.
comparison, contrast.
Lolly, lolly, lolly.
Enrich your language with adverbs.
Lolly, lolly, lolly.
Besides, they're absolutely free.
Lolly, lolly, lolly.
At your service.
Indubitably.